Today we will discuss the unit 2 proteins. In this unit we will discuss classification and biochemical properties of proteins and organization of proteins structure at primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary levels. And then we will discuss physiotherapeutic significance of structural proteins. First, what is the proteins? Protein, that is derived from Greek word or protos, which means the first or supreme biomolecules. Proteins are extremely complicated and nitrogenous molecules made up of variable numbers of amino acid residue joined to each other by a specific covalent bond called peptide bond. And in nature there are more than 300 amino acids, and out of 300 amino acids, 20 amino acids which have been found to occur in all proteins are known as standard amino acid. Only these 20 amino acids are standard and remaining amino acids are non-standard, means they are not used in synthesis of proteins. Only these 20 amino acids are called standard amino acids, and these 20 standard amino acids are L amino acids in nature or levo amino acids. So proteins, that is the most abundant biological macromolecules occurring in all cells. Proteins are polymer of amino acids linked by peptide bond. Proteins are building block of protein, that is the 20 naturally occurring amino acids, or proteins are polymer of amino acids. Amino acid, that is the monomer unit of proteins. And proteins, they do most of work in cells and are required for structure, function and regulation of body tissue and organs. It is also the most versatile organic molecules of living system and occur in great variety, thousands of different kinds, ranging in size from relatively small peptide to large polymer, that is up to 200 amino acid. It is called chain of polypeptide, and after that it is called proteins. And then animal sources of proteins are meat, poultry, fish, egg and dairy product. And plant based protein sources are grains, beans, vegetables and nuts, etc. So proteins are polymer of amino acids, and amino acids, these are monomer unit of proteins. Amino acids mean compound that contain the amino group and the acid group. These amino acids contain NH2, that is the amino group, or COOH, carboxylic acid group. So they are called amino acid because these contain NH2 amino group or carboxylic acid group. These amino acids are joined together by name of bond, that is called peptide bond. Peptide bond, that is the bond between the carboxylic acid and amino group, or between the two amino acid. And during the synthesis of peptide bond, there is removal of one water molecules. Amino acid joined together by name of bond called peptide bond and then forms the proteins. Then classification of proteins. On the basis of structural complexity, proteins are classified into four types: primary structure, secondary structure, and tertiary structure and quaternary structure. First is the primary structure. Primary structure of proteins, it is the sequence of amino acids. In this structure, only peptide bonds are present. Primary structure of protein that contain only peptide bond. In the primary structure, proteins are joined together by name of bond, that is called peptide bond. And then secondary structure. Secondary structure of protein that contain hydrogen bond in addition to peptide bond. This secondary structure of protein, it contains hydrogen bond in addition to peptide bond, and on the basis of nature of hydrogen bond, secondary structures are further two types: alpha helix and beta pleated sheet. Alpha helix that contain structure that contain intramolecular hydrogen bond, that is hydrogen bond between the same chain, and beta pleated sheet that contain intermolecular hydrogen bond, that is the hydrogen bond between the same chain and different chain. Alpha helix that contain intramolecular hydrogen bond between the same chain, and beta pleated sheet that contain hydrogen bond between the same chain and different chain. Tertiary structure of protein. Tertiary structure of protein, that is the three-dimensional conformation, and this tertiary structure of protein, it contain all the bonds: hydrophobic bond, electrostatic interaction, hydrogen bond, and non-covalent disulfide bond, all the bonds that are present in proteins. Example like myoglobin, that is a single chain protein that contain all these bonds. Then quaternary structure of protein. Quaternary structure of protein that contain all these bonds: peptide bond, hydrogen bond, disulfide bond, hydrophobic interaction, ionic interaction. All these bonds are present in same chain and the different chain. So tertiary structure, that is like alpha helix. Quaternary structure is like beta pleated sheet. This is the structure. Primary structure, that is the amino acid sequence. Secondary structure that contain alpha helix, hydrogen bond between the same chain. Pleated sheet that contain hydrogen bond between the same chain and different chain. Tertiary structure, that is the three-dimensional structure. Example like myoglobin, that is a single chain protein. Quaternary structure, that is the protein-protein interaction, like hemoglobin, that is a 4-chain protein. Then classification of protein on the basis of axial ratio: fibrous protein and globular protein. Fibrous protein that has axial ratio greater than 10, globular protein that has axial ratio, that is the ratio of length to width, that is less than 10. Then on the basis of composition: simple proteins or conjugate protein. Simple protein means these are made up of only amino acids. Conjugate means that contain protein part plus non-protein part. Conjugate proteins. Thank you.